Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Exile Magpie.
Hello!
Bit late.
Yes.
And had another week off due to personal things. And I'm not going to lie, due to personal things, I've not really been paying attention to the news.
Yes, you've had more important things happening.
Yeah, I've had to deal with some shit.
Some absolute bullshit, but anyway.
But shall we get started?
Yes.
Let's talk. Right, so Payday 3 came out.
It did.
And it came out quite badly. All according to things. Especially the console version.
The usual live service bullshit.
Yeah, the live service crap.
This is a live service. It's broken on launch.
So, Payday 3 devs say it's making a bunch of changes to the game's detested progression system 9 days after saying it had no plans to do so.
Yeah.
Payday 3's progression has stuck in players' crawl since release, but it looks like it's due for an overhaul. So, Payday 3 has had... This is a article on PC Gamer, and I get most of my articles from PC Gamer, to be fair. They tend to be quite good. But anyway, Payday 3 has had, shall we say, a rough launch, and one of the main sources of player protest has been its progression system. Heisters just aren't thrilled that your infamy points, the things you accrue to unlock new weapons, cosmetics and what have you, are tied exclusively to the game's challenges. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh god, no.
The XP system, that was lambasted in Halo Infinite, that's lambasted in Overwatch.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, you can only earn XP if you do these challenges. Don't do that.
No one. Yeah, here's the thing, right? No one wants to do them, which is why you have to force them to do it.
Yeah. It can mean that players whose goal it is to unlock new gear are better off completely ignoring the heist. And considering this is a live service now, so it's like you can randomly get anybody, right? Most of the time, as somebody who plays Destiny will test, when you're trying to do something, there'll be people who just fuck off. And you're just like, why?
This is why.
Please don't.
Like, just keep it as you play the game, you get XP. Or in Paydays, for money.
In order to focus on blasting as many cops as possible to tick off kill 20 enemies with a gun challenge. A little backwards for the Payday game. Yeah, it is.
It is, because the whole point, the whole point of getting better at Payday is eventually being able to do all the missions without triggering the police.
Yeah,
that's the end goal in a sense. Like, there is literal missions where the whole point is not to get caught.
Despite the clamour from the Payday community, Starbreeze said in a live stream 9 days ago that it had no intention of revising Payday 3's progression system. In an update live stream on the 25th of September, Payday 3 lead producer Andres Penninger dismayed fans with a statement that Starbreeze didn't have any plans as of today to change how the progression works, choosing to focus on UI issues instead.
Well, I mean, to be honest, UI issues is a priority because...
Yeah, but no, if your progression... Like, look at Overwatch. If your progression sucks, no one's going to care about progression.
Yes, that's also very true.
Which means no one's going to give a crap about getting to that special skin.
Yeah, which also means no one cares.
Is it worth the grind?
But it also means people stop playing the game sooner.
Exactly.
It depends how bad the UI issues are. I know why, in a sense, they do this, because it is a case of forcing... It basically means you take longer.
I'm just being professional right now.
Oh yeah, the most professional professionals.
I'm being professional.
It means you take longer to level up.
Yeah.
Which means you take longer to do the game. Which means you're in the game longer. Diablo.
I feel like devs seem to think that this is a really good idea. Like, devs seem to think this is really because it'll keep the pimp in the game longer. No, it doesn't, because
it just pisses them off.
All it is like, we've done all this work and we've got literally nothing to show for it.
There was nothing wrong with the progression system in Payday 2.
The thing is, what they should have, there's an easy way to do this if you want to do challenges, right? Is just give them gear for doing challenges. Like, just give them cosmetics. It's Payday. Everybody wants the masks.
Yes.
Everybody wants those masks.
Yes.
Nobody gives a shit, right? So give them a challenge.
Yeah, in a sense, like if Overwatch, for the character specific challenges, instead of giving them a spray, give them a skin,
or give them like a decal on the weapon or something like that. People would probably do them.
Yeah, make them challenges because that's what they used to be.
Yeah, just like.
But for actual progression, no, not
now. Just let them progress as it is. And if it's a live service, which is this, there's going to be a battle pass. So wait, I've got to. Not only do I have to go through the battle pass, I also now have to do challenges
in order to progress
the battle pass.
Yeah,
it's like fuck off.
Like Halo Infinite has dropped that system. Because it fucking sucks.
Yeah, apparently Halo Infinite's actually gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
since it dropped the whole challenge.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Halo Infinite. Like, there's a whole bunch of things it's done that's actually made the game better, and whether or not it's too late or not is
it's too late.
It probably is for the vast majority of people because
unfortunately, Halo Infinite is not Titanfall 2.
No,
like, Titanfall can come back from the brink of death, which it literally has done.
Yes, because the service got an update and people are playing.
And people are actually able to play the game now. And yeah, it's quite high up in the Steam.
It is. Because the gameplay is fun. I mean, literally, it's basically Apex, but without the battle royale.
Yeah, and I get mechs.
Yeah, and you get mechs.
You know what it is? It's Call of Duty at its prime.
Yeah.
With Apex controls.
With Apex controls and movement.
And we get mechs.
With mechs.
We get big giant robots.
You get to stomp on people.
Yeah, like what I don't need anymore. I don't need anything else.
I love it.
I need to actually put Titanfall 2 on my back on my PlayStation.
I know.
And just do multiplayer. just fuck it.
Just
I love that game.
Roll in with your was it the Titan that I had? The chain gun Titan.
Oh, what was it called?
I'm trying to remember what it's called as well. But anyway,
was it not Juggernaut? Was that
Juggernaut?
Not Juggernaut?
Yeah, Juggernaut. Shield up.
Just blast
just chain gun the entire map. But anyway, back onto Payday 2.
Dry your eyes, because as of another update stream from yesterday, spotted by MP1ST, Starbreeze has decided that actually it might be a good idea to take another look at the progression system after all. Yeah, you don't think?
You don't think? I mean, your press is bad enough as is. A lot of it is out of their control, but still, it's like, yeah, you're taking too many L's. You need to turn around and make it.
It's just generally starting to take the piss now with devs that are doing this. Oh yeah, we're going to give you a battle pass, but the only real way to progress is if you do these god awful challenges.
The thing is,
I bet the challenges aren't even that fun.
Well, no, there's one is to kill 20 cops.
Yeah,
shoot 20 people.
Yeah, like
in a heist.
Yeah,
in a heist.
But the whole point of the game is to not.
Which
the cops.
Yes, you do end up running and gunning a lot of times, but like. The pinnacle of, like I say, in my belief, the pinnacle of Payday gameplay is going through an entire mission and not triggering the alarms and assault, and it's like literally ghosting the mission. That's the pinnacle of Payday in a sense. I mean, yes, there are the people that want to go. No, we're gonna go guns blazing all the way through. And it's going to be an absolutely chaotic clusterfuck of amazing.
Here's the thing, like, what are these challenges going to be?
Well,
I know one's...
The thing is, though, they either kill use this thing so many times.
It's going to be something stupid like, right, you're going to have the kill 20 cops.
Yeah.
Right? Then there's going to be, like, kill so many people with a pistol.
Yeah.
kill so many people with a shotgun or on a. Because you've got to remember, this will be a weekly thing, so it'll change.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll have assault rifles, sniper rifles, kill so many of them. Then you'll have carry so many bags of money.
Yeah.
Pick up so much loot. Like it'll just be like, no.
Some of it is just boring missions, but also some of the others will be like, oh, you've got your character build this way a certain way for like stealth or for no, you're gonna have to change the entire thing to get this.
Yeah, to do this challenge.
And people get really pissed because it's like, I don't want to play the game this way. I want to play the game the way I want to play it. That's the whole fucking point of your skill trees, your class system.
Penninger says that Payday 3 devs have heard you, that they've heard us, and are working on a bunch of changes to the progression system.
Now, the question does become, how much was this a decision made by the developers, and how much was this a decision made by the publisher, who are, is it Silver?
Deep Silver.
Deep Silver, yeah. How much of a?
I think this is the devs. This is on the devs.
I'm not saying. I'm thinking it's a bit on both. Like
I do like. Look, I don't like Deep Silver. Deep Silver are
assholes
and can be quite scummy. But this sort of stuff, like progression in games and that, a lot of the time it's devs. It's not the publisher.
It's the demand usually of you need to have a battle pass and you need to have
sometimes it can be.
Is the publisher
that's usually the bullshit of like battle passes and microtransactions stores and all that crap. That's usually the publisher. When it comes to progression in games, like the way it's done, it's usually the devs that do it. So
unless they've been told you need to make a way.
So anybody screaming that like it's Activision's fault that the progression in Overwatch is not very good. It's not. It will be Blizzard's. Yeah. Blizzard will have done it.
Yeah.
Activision would have like actually actively welcomed and been like, yes, do that.
It forces players to be in the game longer. Do it.
Yeah. It forces players to spend money. Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
That's why Diablo is the way it is, because the game isn't designed to actually have fun. Diablo 4 is designed to keep people playing Diablo 4 for as long as possible. Even if they aren't actually playing the game.
And that's a developer thing. That's not usually the publisher.
Now, granted, the publisher, Activision, might have told them you need to make the players stay in as long as possible.
Oh, yeah.
But still... And I'm not saying, when we say the developers, we don't mean the people on the ground floor actually having to implement this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's
we're on about the managers.
Yeah, the managers, the ones who are like make the decisions on the games. Because at the end of the day, the people at the bottom who are doing the ones and zeros, they're basically just doing what they're told.
They may come out with suggestions.
It is their job to put in whatever the people at the top tell them to.
You know, they may try and push back and go, yeah, I don't think this is a good idea, but unfortunately, especially with the AAA game industry and the game industry as a whole, it's a bit of a shit job. Let's be honest.
So, back to this a little bit. Penninger didn't say what those changes would be, mind you, but assured players that Starbreeze is working on it, and it's going to test it and verify it to make sure it's in line with how we want it to work. And also based on your guys' feedback, saying that once the studio has nailed down the changes it wants to make, it'll communicate them in more detail.
Right, okay, so I'm gonna save you some time. I know it's not as easy as saying this, but you have the progression system in Payday 2. Take that and put it into Payday 3.
Yeah, just let them progress. Let people progress the way they want to progress. It's not hard. Like, it's just, you did this. You get you get 1,000 XP for completing the level.
You get
10 XP
level
for every.
You get a level up. You get a skill point. You put that skill point into.
Yeah, if you complete the level without setting off any alarms, you get an extra 2,000, so 3,000 XP.
Yeah, you get a ghost bonus.
Yeah, you just give people reasons to do things in specific ways.
Yeah, you reward them. You don't force them.
Yeah.
It's like
you let the players do things the way they are, because
prime example. Battlefield, not 2042. Battlefield 4, Battlefield
4,
3.
the best Battlefield.
Battlefield 4 and
Battlefield
Battlefield 3. If you were the was it light machine gun? Not
support,
not the engineer.
It was basic. No. Was it not the engineer?
No, because
the big gun.
You got the light. So it was the one that gave out the ammo.
Oh, I know.
Had a light machine gun.
I can't
Gunner.
Yeah,
I think it was Gunner or something like that.
Yeah.
You got points just like everyone else for killing people, but you also got points for suppressive fire,
and every time somebody picked up ammo out of your box, you got points for that.
It rewarded you for doing the role of that it encouraged you to actually fulfill the role. And I loved being the light machine gunner.
Engineer.
I loved being the gunner because I'd literally get to like choke points set up, and it's like, yeah, I don't care if I'm actually killing people, but if I'm getting points from forcing everyone over there in that choke point to keep their fucking heads down, which gives the assault troops, the assault members of my side a chance to push up or get into better positions, give snipers the ability to like, without having to deal with the enemy coming after them, to set up and take pot shots. I loved the way the old Battlefield games would reward you for doing what the class is designed to do.
Engineer. All the way. Just look after a tank, and then once you've fixed the tank, get your rocket launcher out.
Engineers, you got points for fixing vehicles.
Yeah.
You got points for people, because I think, isn't it the engineer? No, the recon, which was the sniper, got the spawn point.
Yeah, you got the spawn point and the spotting.
Yeah, so you got points for you got extra points for spotting, and if someone killed someone from your spot, you got points for that as well. You got points for people spawning on your beacon. You got but the engineer got points for fixing vehicles. And the medic got points for healing and reviving. And it's just like just have your rewards basically, like, for example, say you've got a full stealth build in Payday 3. You get extra points for doing stuff stealthily because you're a stealth build. It encourages players.
It's not just that. Like, if you force them down routes, you're restricting players. Like, for me, for Payday, at least from Payday 2, the amount of times we found stuff because we just went looking.
Yeah. But also like, if you have a chance of kill 20 cops, it doesn't, and you want to play stealthily, you're then being punished.
Yeah.
For playing the way you want to play. And it's like, especially Payday 2, it's at the end was all about basically playing each mission the way you want to play it. If you want to go full stealth boys and try and just like ghost the whole thing, you could try and do it. Yeah, there was some missions that went loud instantly, but that was, you knew going in.
Yeah,
they were loud. They were loud missions, and you tooled yourself accordingly. But I just really like. I hate this whole. You can only get XP by doing certain
challenges. Yeah.
I hate that experience, that way of XP, because
me too.
And like, I know some people are going to say, but Overwatch, you still get XP. You get fuck all XP.
Yeah, you get
absolutely jack fucking shit. There's a reason why it doesn't tell you how much XP you get at the end of a level, at the end of a mission.
Yeah. But it does tell you how much XP you get if you do a challenge.
Yeah. It tells you that. And also, if you pay attention, you notice how fucking far your bar goes compared to when you compare the games where you don't complete a challenge and the games where you do. There's a massive fucking difference. And it's just like, It is. I'm really getting sick and tired of some of these progression systems where like it is literally like we want you have to play the game the way we demand you to play it. No. If you want that, make a fucking visual novel. Or even better, film a movie, write a book. And especially like the launch they've had has been very rough. The servers have been terrible, which hasn't been in their full control.
Yeah, the whole thing with the servers isn't exactly their fault.
No, because they're not the biggest company in the world. In fact, apparently they were on the verge of going bankrupt at points. So, the fact
because one of their games just bombed. I just can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
It was the one that came out after Payday 2.
Yeah.
One of the ones like that, but it just bombed apparently.
But when you have... It's such a tone-deaf response as well. When you're having such a bad
launch,
and then the fans are like complaining about this, that, and the others, and then turning around to one of their complaints and going, "Yeah, we have no intention of touching that." It's like, no, you don't. Like, you need a W. The easiest W you could have gotten is going, "Yeah, we can. We understand. We. It's obvious the progression system hasn't had the intended effect. We are going to look at it. Unfortunately, because of everything else that's happened, we need to fix that stuff first. Once we fix that stuff, then we'll look. Then we'll do something with the. But because you went, nah, we don't need to. You just caused an even bigger problem, which is a shame because I like Payday 2. I love playing Payday 2. It's really fun. Just take a step back.
I know.
And take a step out of the bubble.
This is another one where it's like kind of like Cyberpunk, where it feels like the game's good.
Yeah,
the game is actually good. You've just a ton of shit around it that is terrible.
Yeah. Hopefully they get to fix a lot of the stuff quickly, and then because the problem is like you've got Payday 2 with so much more content and mods on the PC scene. You're going up against, and Payday 2 now is a lot less money than Payday 3, so you need to like really hit the ground running in a sense,
especially now. I mean, let's look at Diablo 4. Everyone's just gone back to either Diablo 2 or Diablo 3. Everyone's just gone back to those games,
to the competition.
Or even worse, they're just waiting for they're waiting for Path of Exile 2 to come out,
which is less than a year. And I'll be honest, Season 2 for Diablo 4.
I saw the trailer for it and I was just like, you know what, that does not interest me. To be honest with you, I think the only thing that's going to interest me, maybe make me have a look, is if they announce a new class. That's going to be the only thing that will make me look.
They might do, but the problem is like...
It's going to be... Because, even though they've done this, they're doing the whole seasonal thing.
Yeah.
We're still going to have like the DLC things that they did.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but that's where the classes are going to come from.
Yeah.
So God knows when we're going to get a class.
Their whole like roadmap or whatever is like they're going the Destiny route of like seasons.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But like, number one, your seasons actually have to be interesting.
And two,
the
content is
the content's bare as it is.
And also, you still haven't fixed the vast majority of problems that people are complaining about, like inventory.
And the fact that I'm in the dungeon when I press teleport for another extra 4 seconds for no apparent reason.
Except to keep me in the game for longer. Anyway, live services. I'm just sick and tired of live services having terrible launches.
You know what? The thing is, what annoys me the most is like a lot of these live services. If they actually just put the real time and effort into the game that needs to be put in.
I do wonder if it was turned into a live service to avoid having de novo.
Might be.
Because it was originally going to have de novo in it.
And then everything happened with Denuvo.
And then it got announced that they were dropping Denuvo, but it was going to be an always online. And I'm getting sick and tired of I'm getting sick and tired of always online. Because I don't trust, like, for example, prime example, Gundam Evolution is going away.
Yeah, it's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah.
Which, you know...
I'm so glad I never bought anything on that game.
I know, I did. I was very disappointed. I mean, you know, they came out with Heavy Arms. My boy, Heavy Arms. Yeah. I had no choice. I just really, really... I'm getting sick and tired of games that don't need to be live services, because Payday 2 is peer-to-peer, which has its own pros and cons. You know, dedicated service means a better connection, blah, 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 blah. But those servers are not going to be up indefinitely. And they're going to, I mean, from the sounds of it, they're going to, for Payday 3, they are going to introduce an offline mode, which is thank fuck. But, like, but for live services, like, if the Destiny 2 servers get shut down, that's it. It's all gone.
Oh, yeah. I know. I've put a lot of time in those games.
You know, and speaking of Destiny 2, there's a lot of people thinking, what the fuck's going to happen after the next
Final Shape?
Final Shape.
Because I generally think I'm going to call it quits after the Final Shape.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get out of there. Because the way I see it, I've spent so much time, I need to see how
I don't
ends.
think they're ever going to announce a Destiny 3. But can you imagine if they pulled the same shit that they did when they launched Destiny 2? All that stuff you had from Destiny, the first game, yeah, it's all gone.
Yeah.
It's all gone. To be honest, I still haven't really
gotten over that.
Because I had Icebreaker. That was my sniper rifle.
Yeah, that gun's never coming back.
That gun is never coming back because it was broken as hell.
Because that gun would break Destiny 2.
It would.
The way it is, the way it goes.
This
Whisper of the Worm.
Also, we know how they would do it.
Yeah, you'd have to buy it.
You would have to buy it, just like Galahorn.
Yeah.
And people say Destiny 2 is not pay to win.
Oh, the amount of microtransactions in there.
Oh, it's a hellhole. I'm so glad I've not jumped back in.
See, I've been alright because I've never really left.
Yeah.
I've not had to really worry about, like, what to buy. Because literally all I've done when it comes to Destiny is...
buy the season pass.
I bought the...
You've
kind
got,
of
the season
kind of
pass.
like the deluxe edition that gives me all the season passes.
Yeah.
But I haven't really gone any further than that.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they do charge an arm and a leg for these, but that is on me.
Yeah, you personally think that's a value to you.
Yeah, I don't think it's a value for money, and I don't think everybody will. I think it's bullshit. Some of the stuff that they've done, like
dungeons behind a
paywall that you have to buy the deluxe edition for. Otherwise, you've got to spend like an extra. I want to say 15 quid.
Yeah.
I want to say 15 quid.
I think I have the keys for those dungeons.
For the key, for a key. One dungeon.
I mean, granted, once you unlock it, you have that dungeon.
Yeah, I know, but you shouldn't have to pay for it.
No. No, that's what all the fucking bullshit microtransactions in the Eververse is supposed to be.
Yeah. The other thing is that like battle passes now. See, the battle passes when they first came out for Destiny, I think you'd agree with me, like, they were actually good.
They were interesting. There was
got a lot of stuff in there.
There was plenty of interesting stuff. Now it's just
there
full
wasn't
of
really
shit.
There wasn't really anything that you would class as pay to win, but there was a lot of like you would get Stardust, which is the game's currency that you can get for free. You'd get a lot of the purple coin, the purple stuff. You'd get a lot of upgradable materials.
You couldn't bypass it. You couldn't pay for skips.
No, you couldn't pay for skips, and you could get, and the cosmetics were actually pretty cool. The last battle pass that I generally liked for cosmetics alone, I think, was the start of Witch Queen.
Yeah, I'd say
that's 2 years ago. That's roughly 6 battle passes.
Yeah,
I have not completed. I've gotten to the Ghost, which is level 50, because I want to get every ghost. That's like my thing on Destiny. I want to get the ones that you can't buy. So a lot of them are just from the battle passes, but there are some that you can get from like completing dungeons. I can't get the raid ones because I've got no one to raid with. But I do most of the dungeons for the ghost that you can, because some of them do come from dungeons. Although I do want to try and do Crota and see if I can one man that and cheese it again.
I do hope they put in original Crota which you could cheese, because that was fun.
That was a fun raid. It was buggy as fuck.
I know,
but it just added to the charm.
As long as you don't have the bugs like the immortal Crota, the instant shield recharge Crota, or the Crota that will literally go in the area that he's not actually supposed to be able to get to.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what? Even though it had all those annoying bugs, I think they just added to its charm. Like, because let's be honest, Crota, the raid for Crota is not the best raid in the world.
No.
It's pretty shit, to be fair. It's like 3 rooms and 2 corridors. That's really about it.
Yeah.
And then, but the stupid shit you could get away with because of the amount of cheesing that you could do.
The sword jump.
The sword jump, the invisibility thing at the beginning if you had it.
Yeah.
That you could just run through the entire thing and get without being.
I love the fact that like that first part I could actually tank as a Titan.
Yeah.
Like, because my biggest complaint about Destiny is even though the Titan is the chosen child of the favourite of the Bungie developers, everyone is still very squishy.
Yes.
Everyone is still very squishy when it comes to like the really end game content. Your raids, your nightmare strikes. Everyone is still very squishy. You die very, very easily. Crota, that first part of Crota, because it also came with the gauntlets that had the feedback mechanism, you could actually tank as a Titan. And I loved it. I was like, yeah, just everyone just stick slightly behind me so that all the exploders don't kill you. And I just went up, punched someone, and then the other one hit me. And then it was just a chain reaction of electrical discharge that just sort of wiped everyone. I was like, yep, this is fun.
This is what I want.
This is what I want. I want to be able to tank.
I loved because Destiny 1, I used to use a sniper all the time. So I would I'd go invisible for the first bit, run past everybody, get to the top, and then just start sniping. It's just I love Crota. It's the shittest raid I've ever been in, but I love it.
The thing is,
it's so dumb.
The thing is, though, is that the stuff that you could cheese made it fun.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It wasn't great, but it was fun.
Yeah,
and that's what matters. Like, if it's not going to be good, if it's not going to be like Vault of Glass level of quality, it has to be at least fun. Which I really, when they fixed most of the stuff that you could cheese, it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, it just got boring.
It got boring. It's very frustrating. It's very
because Crota, when they fixed it, it became very sort of like you have to be inch perfect and precise with everything.
Yeah,
which kind of ruined the fun and charm of Crota's.
Yeah, but also like for example the chasm where you had to get across.
The cheese of the jump with the sword.
Yeah, the cheese of the jump with the sword. You couldn't do that anymore because I can't remember what they did to.
They basically put up like walls,
like
invisible walls, and if you touched the invisible wall, you died.
Yeah.
And then because you had the
but
cheese
to do
ones,
it
you had
to do it properly, what you had to do is people would have to. There had to be at least 2 people stand. Now, this is Destiny, where you are a squishy thing in the really hard content, which the raid is.
Yeah.
Which would constantly throw out
humongous mobs at you.
Mobs and champions who would take absolutely forever to kill. And there would always have, and to cross the chasm, you needed 2 guardians to stand in 2 circles, which weren't very big. This is where they're also spawning in the exploder hives as well, which could kill them in one hit. And you had to stay there. so that everyone else didn't die when they tried to use them. Oh, and the third person had to then spawn the bridge on the third pad, and then one person could cross.
Yeah. And then they had to get on the other pad.
Yeah, then they had to get on the other pad so that the second person could cross, and then those two would have to jump onto the circles on the other side,
which where the two bosses were.
Where two fucking bosses would spawn.
Two champion ogres would show.
Two champion ogres, which, you know, on a raid, you could not one man in the open.
Well, not unless you were like, because there were a lot of people who like one manned it, but they are ridiculously good and like should not be allowed to exist.
But yeah, like, but the live services, honest to God, I'm just sick and tired of live services and live services being launched in a poor state, and like, I just don't trust the game industry to actually like keep a live service going if like it doesn't instantly make all the money.
Aye.
Like, they could pull the plug on it tomorrow.
Mm.
And everything that you've done, like the amount of live services that have closed and gone for good, it's just like, fuck, just stop. Make a game that I can just load up on my computer and I can play, please.
Which a lot of people are like kind of worried about Destiny 2. Speaking of that, because like
they've got Marathon coming.
Well, no, it's not just Marathon. It's with the final shape. There's a lot of people that are like,
so what happens afterwards?
Not really sure whether the final shape's going to be good or not. Because as much as like I'm hyped for it, but like I'm a Destiny fanboy.
Yeah.
So.
But even then, you've also expressed concerns regarding.
Yeah, I do call them out on their bullshit.
Yeah, but also like you've expressed concerns regarding for the like whether or not it's going to be.
Sorry, just I can't believe I'm in
no,
shock.
this aren't counting. Okay, to date stamp this, because we are Newcastle United fans. The score in the Champions League of Newcastle United versus Paris Saint-Germain in Newcastle, St James Park, is Newcastle United 2, Paris Saint-Germain 0. I don't know what timeline we're in, but it's a fucking good one.
What is happening? What is happening right now? How are we beating Paris Saint-Germain? How is that?
We joked yesterday after Arsenal and Man United lost. We joked that it would be hilarious if we won, and we'd be the only English side to win. I don't know. We don't know the Man City squad at the moment. But we joked because we didn't think it would happen.
Of course, I was like, it's not going to happen.
Paris Saint-Germain.
We're going to get smashed.
It's Mbappe. Okay, like, this is
after seeing the lineup for Paris Saint-Germain against us, I was like,
They are playing 4-2-4, which is weird.
Yeah, but it's Paris Saint-Germain.
But again, it's Paris Saint-Germain. It's Paris Saint-Germain. It's Paris Saint-Germain. I'm that stunned. I can't pronounce the name correctly. Yeah. But anyway, after that one hell of a tangent that we didn't expect to ever go on. Yeah. Payday 3, it's in a rough shape. Hopefully will get better because it's Payday. I don't think there's another game series that does what Payday does.
No, there isn't. Well, maybe there is, but I don't think.
No, there isn't. There is not an actual like proper
heist game.
Proper heist game where you plan and can either go gun blazing or stealth. It's like usually if you these type of games, it's one or the other. Or Payday literally goes, yeah, if you've got the skills and talent and ability, yeah, you can ghost it. So
fingers crossed that they can sort
it out. The Payday fan base are a loyal bunch. They love Payday. You just need to look at the like. Yeah,
you've got it's got a great community.
It's got a great community. They love the whole stick, and they will probably give the developers time to fix it. But like a lot of probably trust has been burnt. Yeah. Over this.
I mean, it could be worse.
It could be.
It could be Overwatch.
It could be Overwatch 2.
It could be Overwatch 2.
Which literally Blizzard killed Overwatch 1 for Overwatch 2, and now we're not even getting Overwatch 2.
They killed Overwatch 1 for a shop. That's it.
That is literally what they killed it for.
So, moving on. Devs learn rival Godot engine in a week to poke fun at Unity.
I mean, they deserve it.
Oh yeah. Now, if you don't remember the last chat that we did, we talked about Unity's
change of terms
and conditions.
Terms and conditions, which they were going to make retroactive, to which all the developers in the world who ever used Unity turned around and went, "Fuck off." No, that's not happening. To the point where I think was it Red Hook or no, Metacritic.
Yeah.
The people behind Slay the Spire, amazing game. Love playing it. Hashtag I'm not sponsored. But they turned around. They actually released a statement, and at the end of the statement went, "Yeah, we don't make statements. This is how big you fucked up."
But yeah, basically what's happened in the time since, a lot of the especially indie developers, they have basically gone on to the Godot engine, which is a free engine. So it's not as, I would argue say it's not as good as Unity, but it's
not as easily usable as Unity. That's the whole thing about Unity. Unity is very easy. Its ease of use is what makes it so popular. It's also why there's a whole bunch of really shit shovelware made in Unity. Yeah. But after the announcement, I'm not surprised. A lot of people, serious developers, are looking at other options because
have they actually announced that they're backstepping or anything? I don't think so. They've
apologised.
I know
they have announced that they're going to rework the changes to the terms and conditions, to which everyone's like, no, you fucked up, mate.
Yeah, you need to do a WotC.
And you need to do a WotC, and even then, WotC, for the love of fucking God, they are desperate to try and get Dungeons and Dragons to online only and fucking bullshit like that, and it's just every change they do is just dog shit.
It's just making it worse.
It's just
makes it worse.
It's just like the only thing it's not doing is causing a complete and utter PR shitstorm. But it's still terrible.
Oh yeah.
It's still like, no, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, you've made this class worse. But anyway, back onto Unity. As we swing the Unity bat again. They've like we said, they've literally committed corporate suicide. And they've had to roll back a whole lot. They've not made an official announcement of what the new terms and conditions are going to be, but they have said it's no longer going to be retroactive. It's going to not affect per download, I think, or whatever it was. They've rolled back a whole bunch of things. But the problem is that no one trusts them anymore. Because the people in charge are the people that thought it was perfectly fine to introduce... they're not sorry that they've made a mistake. They're sorry that people are upset at them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like they're sorry that they can't make as much money as they wanted to, and I'm like, you fucking
It's like I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah,
it's that sorry.
It's that sorry.
Sorry.
And the only reason why they're pulling back on certain things is because a lot of their financial department turned round to them and went, yeah, if all the people who say they're pulling out will pull out, we'll be broke.
We are fucked.
We're fucked. Like in a fucked so badly, even your golden parachutes won't be affordable. That's the only reason why. I mean, to be perfectly, the CEO was selling shares in Unity before the announcement, almost as if he knew they were going to drop. But I don't think they thought. Again, it's another example of fucking people in the higher echelons of a company without an actual clue about the ecosystem that company is in. It is literally like WotC, like Activision Blizzard, fucking EA. Speaking, considering the CEO is a former EA.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Senior manager.
God.
God, that company just poisons everything it touches.
Although apparently Star Wars seems to be the only thing they're good at the moment.
Yeah, but that's because it's Respawn.
Yeah, that's true.
Respawn and the team that made Squadrons were all like former fans of the X-Wing / TIE Fighter series. They actually wanted to make an X-Wing TIE Fighter type game, which is why Squadrons was the way it is and why it was actually fun. Really cool in VR. My little 6-year-old was really happy.
The little 6-year-old inside myself
was very happy.
Was very giddy.
Was very happy being inside the cockpit of an X-Wing. It was great.
But yeah, the Unity thing's still going.
It's still going because the only thing they could have done to stop the vast majority of the negative press they were getting was to basically go, we're really sorry, we're reverting all the way back to what we were before. There's not going to be a change. But no, they haven't done that yet. So people are still pissed.
This is the gaming industry, so it's not.
Yeah, no, because it's always, we're going to take 3 steps forward and then 1 step back to get the 2 steps forward we actually wanted.
Yeah. Anyway, more bad news. Moving on, we're going to Epic is laying off, 500 staff?
500 staff are being laid off at Epic because they clearly don't make enough money from their store. The fact that they own the Unreal Engine. Here's an idea. Maybe if you stop paying your CEOs like 20 times the amount of a normal member of staff, you wouldn't have to fire anyone.
Okay, so in a sort of, I want to say twit longer?
Probably a twit longer one. It's an official announcement.
Yeah. Tim Sweeney, who is, I'm pretty sure he's the
CEO
of Epic. Yes. He sent out a tweet longer, basically to staff to basically explain what's going on.
We are going to fire you because we haven't made all the money.
As we shared earlier, we are laying off around 16% of Epic employees. We're divesting Bandcamp and spinning off most of Super Awesome. For a while now, we've been spending way more money than we earn, investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators. I had long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that this was unrealistic.
Here's an idea. Why don't you take a pay cut?
While Fortnite is starting to grow again, the growth is driven primarily by creator content with significant revenue sharing. And this is a lower margin business than we had when Fortnite Battle Royale took off. Yes, because Battle Royales are not the meta game anymore. And began funding our expansion. Yes. Success with the creator ecosystem is a great achievement, but it means a major structural change to our economics. Epic folks around the world have been making ongoing efforts to reduce costs, including moving to net zero hiring and cutting operations spend on things like marketing and events, but we still ended up far short of financial sustainability. We concluded that layoffs are the only way, and that doing them now and on this scale will stabilize our finances. So that's about halfway through.
So when you announced you made X amount of money, that was a lie?
No. They probably made that much money.
They probably spent more. What they're saying is they spent more.
They spent more. But the question is, what did you spend that money on? Is that money going to, because you've spent tons of money on Fortnite tournaments? Is the money from
sponsorships,
building the Unreal Engine 5 engine? Is that where all that money went?
Yeah, there's not a breakdown of where they spent all the money.
Yeah.
Or did it go?
Did it go to your shareholders?
Did it go to your shareholders?
That took the money.
And did it go to your CEO payslip and bonuses?
Yeah. So there are still questions.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you didn't make as much money as you've spent.
Also,
so you're in a loss.
How much sponsorship were you giving streamers? Because there's probably some streamers that got more money than you really should have. I mean, no, I'm not going to complain. I'm not saying the streamers shouldn't have said no. If someone is offered a shit ton of money to sponsor a game, and they
to play a game,
I don't begrudge them for saying yeah. I'm just
the thing is, like, your Fortnite, you don't need to sponsor anybody anymore.
No,
everybody knows Fortnite.
You shouldn't have to sponsor people. I wonder if it's the licensing of all the...
Possibly. That might actually be what it is. The licensing of the characters into...
Because it's getting ridiculous now.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I can't imagine, like, My Hero Academia
being cheap.
Jujutsu Kaisen and Dragon Ball being very
cheap. And Transformers.
Transformers. What have been... is it Warner Brothers that own Transformers now?
Might be Warner Brothers.
It's either... No, it's Paramount.
Paramount. Also... Marvel.
And the Marvel characters, DC characters, I can't imagine them being cheap. So that's a good point. There's a lot of money in there. Then the Unreal Engine 5, because that wouldn't have been cheap.
That's not a cheap engine to make. No.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing.
It's an amazing engine, but it's clearly not. It wouldn't have been cheap to make.
Not a cheap engine to make, and they never will.
And the amount of man hours I've probably gone into that.
Yeah.
So there's money there.
But again, I probably think, like, if your company is spending more than it's earning, then the first thing you should stop is any dividends going out to shareholders. Because if you're not doing that, if you're not stopping the money going out to the shareholders, then your company should be sold. Shouldn't have financial issues.
Your money to shareholders
aren't
supposed to take money out of the company.
Yeah, the dividends are supposed to be,
if they're making a loss.
Yeah, it's supposed to be part of basically the dividends are from the profit.
Yeah.
That the company makes. And if you're not doing that, like a certain company that went bankrupt and bit out of business
in this country,
begins with W.
Mine ends in son.
Then you are not being a responsible owner or CEO of a company. And also, if your company is not making a lot of money as a CEO, you shouldn't be getting bonuses. But I highly doubt that's not happening. It sucks for the people who are going to be laid off because they're probably the ones that don't deserve it. It never is the people who deserve to be kicked out. Usually the higher ups. Because this is the thing, a company failing financially is never the bottom line.
It's always easier to fire people.
When it comes to saving money, as in every part of every business, even in government, in the civil service, like the easiest way to save money is to basically fire people, make them redundant. That's the easiest. It's not the cheapest. Because there's a certain thing called redundancy pay. But they don't care about that because they can just, say, oh, well, we've saved this much money now. We don't pay this much money on pay. What they don't tell you is that they end up having to outsource and get agency staff in who then cost more. But because it's agency staff, it doesn't count towards their pay. The wage bill. The wage bill, it doesn't count towards the wage bill because they don't pay the person, they pay the agency who then pays the person. But again, it usually ends up costing more. It's this false economic bullshit that corporations and governments do. It's annoying. But yeah, to the people who have been let go from Epic, it sucks. Because especially this year, like we have had banger after banger after banger.
We're having some good games this year.
Games have come out and done gangbusters.
Liza P,
Armored Core 6 has been the most mainstream success an Armored Core game has ever had.
Baldur's Gate 3
Baldur's Gate 3 is
probably
just
one of the
like...
best. It is. It's going to go down as one of the best games ever.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is easily one of the greatest games of all time. And and the more I play it, the more I see other people play it, the more stuff I see that like I've missed and other people have missed, and like stuff like apparently there is a scene with Astarion that no one's found yet.
Oh.
Apparently there's a scene with Astarion that no one has found.
Oh.
The only people that know this thing exists is Astarion's voice actor and the people and the devs who made the scene. That's it. No one else knows it exists. Except we know it exists now. We just don't know how to find it.
Yeah. Even like the games that you would say, like the mid-tier games, have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Dead Island 2. It's not great. It's not like
it's a fun game.
It's not. I would say, because considering the standard of the game that's come out this year, it's not up there. But it's a fun game. I've had tons of fun.
Starfield has come out. Starfield's a fun game. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a banger, but it's.
Yeah, I'm starting running into issues on my playthrough of Starfield, which is annoying.
But as you said, it's a good game.
Yeah.
Like, so even like I've the new Warriors game that came out, the Fate one.
Yeah.
It's fucking mint.
But yeah, this year has been
the fucking Nikkei on the mobile. Although I mean that is for perverts and anime fans. But
anime waifus.
It's generally actually
it's an anime waifu gacha game.
It's actually a fun game.
The problem is that the game actually has a decent plot.
Yeah. It's fucking dark as well.
It's a very dark plot.
Holy shit.
It's very dark, but it's a decent plot, and I'm like, holy fucking shit.
I'm trying to think what else has come out this year.
Oh, there's been a whole
There's been
bunch
a ton.
There's been a lot.
Been quite a few.
Like,
we've got...
if it wasn't for the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is literally, like, so fucking good, that it shows that it's been in 6 years plus development.
Yeah.
I just think...
We've got Alan Wake 2.
We've got Alan Wake 2.
We've got
Spider-Man
2.
The Dead Space remake was Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4.
Then we've had... And that's not going into the indie games that have come out this year. And they've done really well.
Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 has been great.
Mortal Kombat 1's done really well.
Apart from on the Switch.
Why in God's name did they release that on the Switch?
The thing is that they potentially could be breaching the law because they used the sales material for the evidence for the Switch version.
Yeah.
They used the PC.
Oh no.
So people were seeing pictures for the PC game on advertisement for the Switch game.
Oh no.
And it's like, ooh, ouch, that's not a good one. But anyway, and it's like the game industry makes so much money. If you cannot make a profit on the amount of money you are raking in, and let's all be honest, Fortnite makes a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah, Fortnite makes a lot, especially with especially now because it's like it's taken off again.
Yeah,
Fortnite's coming back into
almost into season sort of thing, but like it makes an absolute shit ton of money, and I'm like, if you can't make a profit from the amount of money you're making from that game, then there's seriously something wrong financially in your company.
Yeah. And
so for you to turn around and go, oh well, we've had to let some staff go.
I think it's a mix. I do think it's a mix of both.
Like I said at the beginning though, here's an idea: take a fucking pay cut first. Now I'm not saying that the CEO taking a pay cut would save every single job. That's probably an impossibility. But
or maybe just don't let the shareholders take money out of the company when you haven't made a profit.
Yeah, if you're not making a profit, suspend the dividend. You know, that's what they used to do. That's what financially responsible companies would do. They would suspend the dividend.
I think it's a bit of both. I think they've overspent on like the licenses and possibly the esports scene.
Potentially.
I think they've overspent on those areas, and maybe there's people who are getting paid a lot of money that
more money than they shouldn't be.
Maybe they shouldn't do. So I do think it's a bit.
And again, in those situations, we're not begrudging the people that are like taking the money. We're begrudging the people behind who are deciding to give that money, because it's like, are you really actually?
I could understand if Epic came out with a new game and they were like, right, we're going to sponsor you to play this game. I could completely understand, but you don't need to sponsor people to play Fortnite now. Like Fortnite's like it's in the public eye forever. It's never going away.
No, unless you do something
unless you pull the plug.
Unless you do something extremely stupid, which considering it's Epic, it's possible. It's a possibility. But again, like the amount of money involved that they make, especially since a lot of these companies have financial experts solely so that they can pay as little tax as possible on the millions that they make. Like, if you there should be in no way any reality that you are not making a profit.
Aye. Well,
unless you are doing, unless you, what I'm saying is, with the amount of money coming in. Like the millions, if not billions of dollars that Fortnite alone is bringing Epic. If you are not making a profit on that money, you are not a financially responsible company.
No.
And you really need a long, hard look at yourself before firing the people at the bottom who have no impact on the loss of money that you're having. Anyway.
Right, moving on to our last piece. BioWare's in trouble again.
There's a shock.
Again.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm surprised by the EA hasn't announced that its newest meal was BioWare.
7 former employees are suing BioWare after being laid off in August, citing possible legal violations from the famed developer. BioWare is known for its groundbreaking RPG franchises like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Wouldn't exactly call Dragon Age a groundbreaking RPG. Mass Effect... Well, no, not even with Dragon Age Origins. I'd say it's... I wouldn't say it was groundbreaking.
Yeah, I understand your point, but still, it's a very popular...
It's a good RPG. It's a very, very good, but I wouldn't say it did anything that you would say, oh yes, this changed the way Westerners did RPGs for the rest of the time. Well, no,
because you just have to look at Dragon Age 2 and it literally went, oh, we're going to have the wheel dialogue tree.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Mass Effect. Yeah, Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I would say Mass Effect is definitely...
Actually, do you know what? The thing is, like, while I don't mind the wheel dialogue tree in Mass Effect, when it shows up in anything else...
Yeah, I know.
I hate it.
I know, but you can't really blame BioWare for that.
Oh, no, I can't blame BioWare for that, and I don't blame BioWare for that. I'm just sick and tired of, like, for example, the dialogue fucking wheel in Fallout 4. 4 choices. None of which actually shows you what is actually going to be said.
Nor did it even matter which one you picked.
Yeah.
But anyway, the groundbreaking RPG franchises like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, but it has fallen into troubled times in recent years. Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem were both met with mixed to negative reactions from gamers. That's because they both sucked.
Andromeda was a very good concept, and bad parts is actually enjoyable. Like the whole concept of, we're going to we're going to go to the next solar. The next solar system?
We're in another. Yeah, they're going to another solar system.
The next solar system, and we're going to colonize or set up outposts. Blah blah blah, and then it all goes to shit, and it's your job to fix everything. That's a concept. It's great.
Yeah.
Execution, but the problem...
It wasn't... No. The execution was terrible.
No, right. The point is like the execution was a bit... but the thing that ruined Andromeda the most was the fact that...
It was on the Frostbite
engine. And I'm now even more convinced than ever that the Frostbite engine is not a good engine for anything other than first-person shooters.
It's not even good for that now.
And it's
look at Battlefield. That's on the Frostbite engine. That's a pile of crap.
Yeah.
Doesn't even work. Look at all the bugs.
And I think it's like ages ago. I think we talked about like I don't think the Frostbite engine can actually handle collisions.
I don't think it can handle
model on model collisions very well.
No.
Because a first-person shooter, that doesn't actually happen a lot if you pay attention.
And while 2021's Mass Effect Legendary Edition was greeted much more warmly, well, because all that was
the original trilogy.
The original trilogy with a new coat of paint.
Yeah.
Nothing
Although
else.
you took out the best horde shooter.
Yeah, the multiplayer was taken out.
The multiplayer was taken out, and it's like,
really
the horde shooter's fun.
Why
are you taking it out?
Many are wondering if the once acclaimed studio can reach the heights it wanted. Probably not. These doubts only grew when BioWare announced that it was eliminating nearly 50 positions in August, which we actually talked about, in order to streamline its workforce, with employees being reassigned to other positions within parent company EA. Now, I'm pretty sure this was around about the same time when they actually announced that they were cutting Anthem off.
Yeah.
Like 100% now.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Reassigned to other positions within the parent company EA or being laid off entirely. This followed EA's own series of terminations from earlier this year, which were reportedly part of an effort to restructure the mega publishers and cut development costs. While BioWare itself has assured fans that this shake-up won't negatively affect upcoming titles like Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which is bollocks, and Mass Effect 4, which is also bollocks, some of the former employees who were let go are seeking legal action.
In other words, they weren't let go correctly in regards to whatever rules, regulations.
Most likely, they weren't made redundant, which is what they would have been. What you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
They will have been fired.
Yeah.
Which is what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, because then that's called wrongful dismissal.
Yes, and you can get into a lot of trouble for doing that.
And it's actually more expensive to be... Yeah, it's basically, let's gamble.
Yeah.
Let's gamble that we won't be taken to court and be found for wrongful dismissal by just kicking you out and claiming that we're letting you go instead of firing you.
Yeah.
When we're actually firing you.
7 other workers BioWare laid off in August have just filed a lawsuit against the developer. This statement of claim was filed with Alberta's Court of King's Bench, with the plaintiffs requesting fair severance pay and punitive damages for what they call unreasonably poor treatment by BioWare. So basically, they were fired instead of actually let go.
I was about to say they were
probably treated like shit.
They were probably not paid the redundancy fee. Because here's the thing: if you make people redundant, most countries, and I think even America as well, to an extent, possibly, have rules in like you can't just you can't just tell the person who's worked for your company for 10 years, there's the door, go away, we're just letting you go. You can't do that. You have to have either grounds for dismissal, which is firing a person, or you have to give them redundancy, which is basically a set amount of money
it's not even that, right? You're right. So basically they've been let go, but because they were with EA and most likely they signed this as part of their contract, they're not allowed for a certain amount of time to say what they've been working on.
Yeah.
So in their CV, they can't put down that they're working on Dreadwolf, right? Yeah. They can't put on their CV that they've been working on Dreadwolf
or Mass Effect or...
Yeah, so if the last game that they worked on came out like 4 years ago, that's the last thing on their CV.
Yeah.
So imagine trying to get a job. The last time you did any work in this industry.
Especially when the last things that BioWare launched was Anthem and Bioshock Andromeda.
Yeah. You know, so imagine that. Imagine that's the last thing you did on your CV.
Yeah, that's not good.
So that's going to be hard to get a job.
Yeah.
That's going to make it hard. The fact that you can't actually say you've been working for the last 4 years is
it's really stupid.
It's really fucking stupid. Basically it's because they're under NDAs. But I don't see the problem if they just went, oh yeah, I worked on Dreadwolf.
I was working on Dreadwolf when
Because most likely, a lot of the developers on that, there would have been... I'm going to assume they weren't any of the ones that were building anything massive. I'm going to assume a lot of these people were the ones that were like... They painted trees. And they coloured the armour on the knights or something like that.
Or they made the shield animation.
Yeah, or they made a shield animation.
Or they programmed the code for, like,
Yeah.
if button X does this.
Yeah, most likely it would have just been stuff like that. I'm not going to... I don't think they'll have let go...
Or, like, the creative lead.
Like, the creative lead on the game.
I mean, granted, they have done, but these aren't the people in the lawsuits.
No. You know? So, and most likely that creative lead probably got like a decent pay package
Probably.
to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, according to these, it's not going to end. It's alleged that BioWare employees attempted to negotiate with the developer when they were released, but the developer offers were less than satisfactory. One of the former BioWare's employees involved in the new lawsuit stated that while they remain supportive of upcoming projects like Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which of course they would be, they've probably made friends that were still there.
Yeah, but also they have they've worked on it.
Yeah,
they've put them, parts of themselves are involved in that game.
They fail to understand BioWare's actions and are struggling to find new employment ahead of the holiday season due to not being able to share their most recent portfolio work.
Yeah. And in regards to the whole redundancy thing, the redundancy is so that people don't go destitute while looking for another job.
Yeah.
That's what the whole redundancy thing is for. It's so that people who are let go for no fault of their own aren't instantly like, yeah, I can't afford my house anymore. I'm now homeless. I'm now...
Yeah.
It's to stop that bullshit.
BioWare has been no stranger to bad news in recent years. And this lawsuit from former employees is yet another blemish on the once acclaimed developer. I think, you know what? I think BioWare is probably next to Blizzard. Those two together as developers, those two
have fallen so bad.
They're the ones that have fallen like the worst.
Oh god, yeah.
Because when you
Blizzard used to be like.
In my eyes, well, not for me, because like I wasn't a massive Blizzard fan.
I know, but there was a level of quality expected.
Even I, who wasn't a Blizzard fan, when Blizzard's name was on a game, like I was like, well, that's going to be
a good game.
A good game. There's quality there.
There's going to be Blizzard's a level of quality because of Blizzard. And now it's
BioWare.
Now it's literally, this is a Blizzard game. So it's a microtransaction hell shop, is it?
Yeah. And BioWare now is just like, it's just going to be an absolute mess, and we're not going to be able to do anything because the game just will not work.
Will not work properly.
Or it's just there's nothing to do in it, and i.e. Anthem.
Yeah.
Absolute desert of content. There's nothing to do. My friend was trying to tell me that Anthem was good the other day, and I was like, "No,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Never.
You're just trying to tell yourself that it was worth the money because you spent money on it, and it wasn't."
Yeah, it's just sad. Really is sad that companies like BioWare's, like they say, was up there. Was up there. Like Storytelling, RPG, they were genre leaders for the West, especially for the West.
Let's look at even games that didn't look good. Dragon Age Origins.
Dragon Age Origins is a.
It's an ugly game. Yeah. Like it's an artistic choice.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's an artistic choice.
It's an artistic choice. I mean, to be honest, it was shortly after the launch.
It was PS3.
PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Console game, and it was very grey
and brown,
which was the colour
scheme for almost everything
for that generation of games for some strange reason. Yes, brown.
Gears of War 3.
Brown.
So much brown.
So much brown. It's almost as if they put a brown filter on the fucking game. Like everything was a shade of brown. I was like, Jesus Christ! If it got more brown, they'd all blend into each other.
If it was more brown, I'd think we were in a toilet.
Yeah.
If it was more brown.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, like but the story for.
But story-wise, Dragon Age Origins is fantastic.
Is amazing.
Me personally, it's my favourite BioWare game.
The story for Mass Effect 1 and 2 are top notch. 2 is amazing. Like, it is paced perfectly well. And like the build up to the suicide mission, you know you're going into a mission that if you make one mistake, everything will go to fucking hell, and you may not come out of it. You know, you're going into it knowing that you have to play the perfect game to be able to get everyone out, and even then, possibility someone may die.
Yeah.
And it's done so well. Like, the characters are so well fleshed out. There's not personally, I don't think in Mass Effect 2 there's one character that I look at and go, yeah, I could do without him. Okay. And then, you know, Mass Effect 3 was Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. Mass Effect 3 is...
It's great until the very end.
Mass Effect 3 is the ending is paramount.
Yeah.
Argument.
They
dropped the ball
on the ending.
Dragon Age Origins for me is, like I said, it's my favourite BioWare game.
But like, the things that BioWare did so great...
They're not there anymore.
And they're not there anymore. Like, for example, Anthem, let's all be honest, we mentioned it when they first announced what the whole concept of Anthem was, and it's like, the last city. This is very Destiny-like.
It's very Destiny-like.
The darkness. Still very Destiny-like.
It's very Destiny-like. Very vague on the whole enemy thing here.
Yeah. This is very Destiny. This is Destiny with mechs. With mechs.
And the story falls
into...
This is
Iron Man X Destiny.
Yeah, and the story falls into the trap of like, oh no, I wasn't the real bad guy. I was trying to protect everybody from the real bad guy.
The WoW trap.
Oh my god. Fuck you now.
And yeah, and Mass Effect Andromeda's story is a bit meh.
The thing is, with Andromeda, although the story is meh, you can kind of see where you can go with it.
Yeah.
It's just, unfortunately, Andromeda is just a bad game.
There's a lot of things that detract from the storytelling.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that, like, they didn't work.
The character models.
The character models was terrible. The fucking scenery's not done correctly. Like, pebbles are bigger than they're supposed to be, so you can't even fucking walk over them. There's just so much stuff in BioWare games now that are just like, 10 years ago, they wouldn't have been there.
No. On the other side, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised EA haven't ate them yet. Keyword is yet. I'm still expecting EA to announce its next meal, and it begins with B.
In all honesty, I think it generally hangs on how Dragon Age does.
The problem is we haven't heard about anything for...
No. We've seen concept art. I mean, granted, that's not a good sign, because the last time all we saw was concept art. was Anthem.
No. The last one where we saw only...
No, I'm only about BioWare, no.
Oh, yeah, true.
No, yeah.
Well, we did actually see some gameplay about a month before launch, and we were like, ooh, this is actually kind of worrying. Yeah,
but before that, all we got was concept art.
That's very true.
That's what I'm on about. Because we are miles away from the release of
I know, but also, like, in other EA, the only other game I honestly remember only ever seeing concept art for before release... Star Wars Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Which had no content.
Yeah, which had no content, because they made the game in about 8 months. And they were like, there you go, there's a Star Wars game. I mean, it's Star Wars, it's not a game.
To which the entire fan base went, you do know we know about what was to be Star Wars Battlefront 3 that never happened from Free Radical. You know, the one where you could do the actual Battle of Endor, where people launched from the ground into space and have battles in space in real time? You do know we know this.
Yeah.
And that was going to be for a game on the PS3, and you're giving us a game on the PS4. A
That-
whole generation later.
That has less content than
That
the
has
last
less-
Battlefield.
That has less content
Battlefront game.
than the last Battlefront game on the PlayStation 2, which had an actual had a 2-player campaign mode.
Yeah.
Which, you know, even the new latest EA Battlefront 2 doesn't have.
Yeah, and the campaign mode in Battlefront 2 is terrible.
No, because it does the...
Right, they did the whole thing as like, oh, you're going to be a part of the Empire.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
you're not.
No, when I say campaign mode, I mean...
Oh, where you go from planet to planet.
Yeah, you could actually conquest.
Yeah, no.
Like,
It doesn't have that.
I know, but it's like, I love that mode. I played the living shit out of that mode.
Battlefront. I keep saying Battlefield because it is basically Battlefield with a fucking...
With Star Wars.
With a Star Wars skin.
Which, to be perfectly honest, was what Battlefront was.
Yeah, but it gave you much more. That was the thing. You had much more, like, game modes and all this other stuff. Whereas the EA Battlefronts, these new ones, it's just Battlefield with a skin on it.
Yeah, that is very true. Shame, really.
Yeah. I mean, it says something, though, that, like, Battlefield 1 from the new Battlefronts, it's so annoying that you have to say the newer Battlefronts.
I know.
Because it's just like, why didn't you just call it Battlefront 3? It wouldn't be fucking confusing if you had to just call it Battlefront 3. But anyway, like, it has, like, Battlefront 1, which had no content in it when it released, is still better than Battlefield 2042.
Yep. I think Battlefield 2042 is still getting outperformed by Battlefield 5, or Battlefield V as I call it. And,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Battlefield 1.
And Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4.
And Battlefield 4. Why? Because that game is not a... Battlefield 2042 is not a Battlefield game.
And it's also just shit.
It is just terrible.
But play Battlefield 4 because that game is fan-fucking-tastic.
Battlefield 4 is like pinnacle. It is peak Battlefield.
Absolutely love that game.
It is peak Battlefield.
I just loved getting my being my engineer, getting my rocket launcher, and going tank hunting.
I still like. I think we've said it multiple times on our chats.
Yeah, we have.
The time we literally just played. We rope-a-doped a tank. I felt at the end. I felt sorry because it was clear he was pissed. That person was pissed because they just started blowing up every single building. It was like, fine. Fuck you all. And he was just demolishing the little village that we're in. He was just demolishing everything. And I was like, yeah, we pissed him
I'm
off.
still proud of that because it was just me and you in our squad, and we held that point alone against tanks, cars, planes, other troops,
helicopters,
and we held that.
I think I think we eventually had half. This was when we had was it like 12v12?
Yeah, it was something like 12v12.
It was something like 12v12 for the PS3.
No, was it not?
PS4?
Was it not 30v30 on?
Oh no, 30v30.
So we had about 15.
We had half the enemy team just constantly assaulting us.
Yeah,
and we held it for like half the game.
Yeah, it was absolute. It was mental. It's my proudest moment.
It is.
I've ever done.
I mean, the only thing that saved us was the fact that it was a flag, which meant that we were getting resupplies. Because we literally just threw everything. It was like we got our minds back for more than.
Yeah, it was mental, and I loved it. It's the most fun.
My favourite moment in Battlefield 4 was when someone in a jeep was driving towards me to run me over. And I was an engineer.
Oh, you threw the C4
C4 did boom, it exploded and went over my head. I was like, oh yeah, that's great.
Again, defending that village is just the best thing.
That is the most fun I've ever had in a battlefield.
I'm still I still don't know how we did it. In all honesty, because we should have died a number of times.
I think it was because it was just the two of us, and because we were talking to each other, and we just kept bouncing around and distract. Basically, when the one was being focused on by the tank, the other would come out and shoot.
Oh yeah, I know how we dealt with the tanks, but I still
and
don't
also
understand
whenever someone tried to once the cars, because I think it was because it was just complete and utter devastation all around us. Like, they couldn't, because they didn't know where we were, because we actually kept hidden. They just kept running into our mines. And then they had to stop in the vehicles, and then we would just pop out and go, bazooka.
Oh, good times.
It was good times.
Good times. I miss Battlefield 4.
I
wish Battlefield.
I think it took a concerted airstrike from...
We ended up dying because
I think
basically the jets came in.
Yeah, it was
a full
airstrike from at least, I think, 2 jets.
Yeah.
They just literally just unloaded everything. There was nothing surviving.
I think they just had enough of us.
Yeah.
And just decided, right, we're just going to bomb the entire thing.
Yeah, the entire flag point is getting obliterated. We don't know where they are in that flag point.
We won the game, by the way. Just we did win.
Our side did win. Because I think the entire half, like we said, half the enemy team was just focused on our one flag because we just refused to let it die.
I still don't know why we never got any help either. They just didn't come to us.
Random multiplayer players.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all I have to say about that. Anyone who has played any first-person shooter multiplayer objective game will understand that.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, I think we're going to call it there. BioWare are in trouble again. So, whoop! Yay!
I do feel sorry for the people who
work
there because it's not a fun experience working where you don't know if tomorrow there's going to be an announcement that your job no longer exists. I've worked under that cloud. It is fucking terrible. Mr. Maxwell has worked under that cloud. It is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is. It's
and I do not wish that. And unemployment is a fate I do not wish on my worst enemy, because you cease to actually exist as a person to a lot of people, and you just become a fucking number, and it is horrible. So yeah, I feel for the people who are, especially the ones in the lower ranks of BioWare, because they've done nothing to deserve this bullshit, and they're probably trying their hardest to make, especially Dragon Age 4, the best they possibly can. But there's only so much they can do. And the decisions that are being made that will make or break that game are probably being done above a pay level that they can't have any influence on. And it sucks.
Yeah. Well, we'll end there.
Yeah, we'll end there.
Yeah, it's a good end. I do hope you've enjoyed this chat, and I hope you join us for the next one. I don't know when that will be, just because
your work schedule is a bit up in the air.
My whole personal schedule is just all over the place now due to circumstances.
But we'll try and
I'm
get one
going to try to get it back to... We'll record on Tuesday and I get it uploaded on Wednesday. Yeah. But it all depends on shit now. But thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.